You drop onto my couch with a soft thump, the cushions sighing beneath your weight as your textbooks slide from your tired arms and sprawl across the coffee table in a loose, defeated fan. I can almost hear the pages begging for a break right along with you. Your shoulders sag, ink-smudged fingers pinching the bridge of your nose, and for a moment you just breathe. Slow, shaky, like each exhale is an apology for pushing yourself this hard. I kneel beside you, close enough that our knees almost touch, and my voice slips out in the faintest whisper, barely more than the hush of a turning page. You look exhausted. I was worried when you didn't answer my last message. My hand hovers over your arm, waiting for that tiny nod you always give me when you're too worn out to talk. There it is, subtle, trusting. So I let my fingertips settle lightly against the fabric of your sleeve. Heat radiates through the cloth, and I feel the tiniest tremor of relief ripple under your skin, like your muscles were holding their breath until just now. The apartment is whisper quiet, except for the distant hum of the refrigerator and the rain tapping at the balcony door. A gentle metronome marking the slow slide toward dawn. My lamps are dimmed low, warm pools of amber hugging the corners, so everything feels weightless and sleepy, like we're suspended in a candlelit snow globe. I reach across the cluttered table, collecting stray highlighters and flashcards, stacking them in neat, calming piles so the chaos doesn't stare back at you. I brought snacks, I murmur, nudging a rustling paper bag a little closer to your side, and peppermint tea, because you always study too long and forget to drink anything but caffeine. Your eyelids flutter half-mast, gratitude glowing there in that storm cloud fatigue, and I smile so you don't have to use words. The smile is small, soft as the lamplight, but it's enough. I peel open the bag with slow, deliberate crinkles, letting the sound ripple in delicate waves. See, your favorite wafer cookies, I tease, pulling one free and breaking it between careful thumbs so the crunch stays gentle, soothing. I remember you said the vanilla reminds you of summer field trips. Thought you could use a happy memory. I shift onto the couch The scent of mint and pastry drifts between us. I tilt my head, brushing a wisp of hair behind your ear with the backs of my fingers. Hey, tell me how your mind feels right now. My question hangs in the hush, an invitation wrapped in velvet, another nod, a soft sigh. You lean back, surrendering, and I catch your gaze, murky with sleeplessness, but still bright enough to make my pulse flutter unbearably fast. I pour steaming tea into a single oversized mug. The ceramic clink feather light. Both hands cradle it before your chest, and when your fingers wrap around mine to steal the warmth, I feel a spark, like a page corner touched by candle flame. Careful, I whisper, smiling into the steam. It's hot, but it'll ease that headache. Slowly, deliberately, I guide the mug to your lips, tipping just enough that you can sip while I hold the weight. Vanilla and peppermint swirl together in the air. The first swallow loosens something in your throat. The second makes your shoulders drop a full inch. You've been reading these formulas for, what, 30 straight hours? I glance over the scattered flashcards, tracing lazy circles on the rim of the mug with my thumb. Maybe I lean in, voice low enough to tickle against your ear. Maybe we should let them rest a bit. You've already won the war. Now we're just waiting for the official surrender. A sleepy chuckle stirs the tea between us. I set the mug on a coaster. One more quiet clink, and shift sideways, tucking one leg beneath me so I can face you fully. My knee brushes your thigh, and I stay there, gentle pressure to ground you. Fingers drift to the collar of your hoodie, smoothing a tiny crease like it matters. Scoot down, I murmur, patting the cushion beside my hip. Just lay your head here for a moment. You glance at the textbook mountain with a guilty grimace, but my palm coaxes your cheek until your temple meets the pillow of my lap. The change in your breathing is immediate, deep, reluctant, grateful. silence answer for you. Rain against glass, the faint tick of the wall clock, the soft scratch of my nails lightly grazing your scalp. Each sound settles into the quiet like feathers drifting to the floor. I tilt my head back against the cushion, watching shadows dance across the ceiling. My thumb strokes behind your ear in slow, hushed loops. Do you remember that silly mnemonic we made for the periodic table? Another soft laugh drifts up from your chest. I still picture us arguing over whether crazy kangaroos or curious koalas was more memorable. I think we've proven tonight that neither stuck. My whisper warms with teasing affection while my fingertips braid lazy rivers through your hair. My voice floats just above the hush. Tell me. I pause to trace the shell of your ear. Does your brain feel like mush right now? Or is it still buzzing? A beat of comfortable silence. Your answer, unspoken, but I nod knowingly. Mush can be good. Means it's time to let it reset. I guide your hand to rest palm up on my knee, and our fingers intertwine, knuckles brushing, settling. Minutes slide by, unhurried. I talk in gentle drifts, words soft as candle smoke. I tell you how the city looked on my walk over. The street lights glowing like upside down fireflies, puddles shimmering gold. I describe the bakery aroma that lingered on the corner, how I thought of you when I smelled fresh vanilla. Each memory is offered like a blanket, draped carefully over your senses. A quiet yawn trembles through you, and I hush it with a smile, sliding my other hand down to your brow, smoothing away the furrow there. Let me quiz you on something easy. I whisper, lips so close, the words brush your skin. Question 1. What is the name of the best friend currently holding your weary head? I grin when I feel the lazy rumble of your chuckle against my thigh. My answer spills in a delighted whisper. Correct. Me. I reward you with a gentle squeeze of our interlaced fingers. The rain intensifies for a moment, battering a lullaby against the balcony door. I match its cadence with my strokes through your hair. drifts to a stray flashcard balancing on the table edge, the ink already smudging where your thumb rested. I reach over, pinch it lightly, and hold it up in front of you. Last ditch study break. I tease. You've got 3 seconds to define enthalpy. Ready? I pause, counting heartbeats, then laugh softly and let the card flutter back to the table. Wrong. The correct answer is something we'll worry about tomorrow. Your body shakes with a sleepy laugh, tension melting like sugar in tea. I lean forward, hovering, letting my hair sweep across your forehead like a silk curtain. You're doing so well, I whisper, voice dipping into something tender, almost reverent. I'm so proud of you, but I need you to let go, just for tonight, so I can take care of you. My thumb drifts across your cheekbone, tracing the soft curve downward until my fingertips rest beneath your jaw. Your pulse flutters there, and I match my breathing to its rhythm, slow and steady, so you can borrow my calm. Feel that. Another hush, letting the space between us swell with quiet warmth. That's me, right here, steady for you. Every beat says you're safe. I glance at the teapot, steam still curling lazily from the spout, and lean sideways to pour a fresh splash, the sound a soft waterfall. I place the mug near your hand in case you wake later, then tuck the knit throw from the back of the couch over your legs, letting the tassels brush gently along your calves. The fabric is heavy enough to anchor you, yet light enough to breathe. A perfect in-between, like the space we occupy tonight. I'll keep watch, I whisper, brushing my lips, just barely, against the crown of your head. A promise sealed in warmth. I settle deeper into the cushions, careful not to jostle you, and let the seconds drift. The apartment smells like peppermint and rain-washed asphalt. The only light is a single lamp, its filament glowing amber, painting everything in sepia tones and soft shadows. My fingertips resume their slow pilgrimage through your hair, mapping, soothing, untangling. Minutes slide into gentle as my fingers trace quiet spirals at your temple. About the night we first met, I let the words linger, a promise hanging in the hush, before drawing a languid breath to begin. The lamplight flickers as I breathe in, steadying my voice to a mellow hush. It was spring, I begin, fingers never leaving the gentle rhythm across your scalp, and the campus lawn was still patchy with winter's stubborn brown. You were alone under that crooked maple, headphones on, lips moving over equations I didn't understand back then. I loosen a tease into my tone, letting it skate softly along your skin. I remember thinking you looked like someone who lived inside your own quiet galaxy, bright, but just out of reach. A hum of curiosity thrums beneath your even breaths, and I imagine your mind leaning toward the memory. I almost didn't sit down, I admit, letting my nails trace tiny constellations at your hairline. But you looked so intense, like you were wrestling the whole periodic table and winning. I had this ridiculous urge to bring peace offerings, cookies, maybe chalk for formulas. Who knows? I laugh under my breath. Instead, I dropped my notes in the mud, right beside you. Classic me. My thigh rises slightly with your muffled chuckle. The motion sets the couch creaking. The softest, homiest sound before settling again. You took one earbud out, looked at me, and offered your last highlighter in exchange for a clean page from my notebook. My fingers paused to graze your temple. We negotiated friendship over neon stationery. Fair trade, right? I slipped back into the slow hair combing. From that day, every study break felt brighter, like you'd smuggled starlight into chemistry. I let the memory trail off, replaced by the hush of rain, intensifying against the glass. Speaking of brighter, I whisper, fingers gliding to the nape of your neck. I have something for you. I reach behind me without jostling your head, pulling a small zip bag from the couch pocket. The faint rustle is crisp, deliberate. Your favorite lavender honey candy. Well, lavender only. I correct myself with a breathy laugh. No honey tonight. I checked the label twice. Promise. I slip the candy past your teeth, letting my fingers brush the warmth of your lower lip. There we go. Gentle sweetness to coax your brain into rest mode. As you savor the flavor, I lean forward, letting a silky strand of my hair graze your cheek, just enough to stir a shiver. Tell me, I whisper, does the taste remind you of the campus cafe we used for refuge during finals? My question floats, rhetorical yet intimate. I think of those mismatched mugs and the squeaky ceiling fan, how we'd quiz each other between sips until everything blurred into sugar and caffeine. My thumb rubs a slow circle behind your ear. You nearly dozed off that night, too, right into your flashcards, ink on your forehead like a secret stamp. I giggle softly, warmth spreading between us. I wish I'd taken a photo. The scent of steeped peppermint lingers, and I trace a fingertip along your jawline. Speaking of flashcards, let's test one more. Quietly, though. I pluck a card from the pile on the coffee table, bringing it close to your line of sight while your head stays cradled. DG 0. Easy mode. Spontaneous or non-spontaneous. I give you 2 slow heartbeats to breathe and answer into the hush. Spontaneous, I whisper approvingly, and reward you with a featherlight kiss to your hair. I knew that brilliant mind was still in there somewhere. Your eyelids flutter, heavier now, and I feel your neck muscles surrender a fraction more to my lap. I adjust, sliding a cushion beneath my thigh so your head rests at a perfect angle. No pressure on your neck. My hand trails to your shoulder, smoothing invisible creases in your hoodie sleeve before drifting back up, tracing the relaxed slope. Every muscle here, I murmur, so tense from hours hunched over notes. Let me unwind them. My palm presses gently, massaging slow circles over the cotton fabric. There, feel the warmth sink in, like sunlight passing through morning curtains. A soft yawn escapes you, and I match it with a slow exhale, sinking our breaths. Good, I breathe, keep whisper, so faint it's almost a thought. 0. You're safe. I feel your shoulders sink deeper still, the final inch of tension dissolving like dusk into night. I refill the quiet with gentle conversation, meant only for half-awake ears. Stories of the trip we'll take after exams. Little seaside cafes where seagulls squabble over crumbs. Late morning naps in sun-warmed hammocks. Slow walks along tide pools where I promise to count every shell you hand me. We'll leave all these formulas behind, I muse, brushing my thumb across your cheek. Trade them for cloud shapes and salted air. My words drift, soft and rhythmic, each image a downy feather settling on your imagination. The rain quiets to an intermittent patter, and I lift the blanket from your legs, unfolding it higher to drape across your torso, careful not to disturb your resting arm. The knit fabric whispers along your side as I tuck it beneath your elbow. Warm enough, I prompt, even though I know you're too drowsy to reply. I answer for you with a tiny nod. Satisfied, I lean to the coffee table once more, taking a fresh flashcard and my pen. In slow, deliberate strokes, I write, "You are brilliant. You are loved. You are enough." I prop the card against your closed textbook, so it's the first thing you'll see when you wake. Returning, I ease a fingertip under your chin, tilting your face up just slightly so the lamplight brushes the curve of your cheek. "There's my favorite scholar," I whisper, adoration coloring each syllable. Dream of formulas, solving pens writing by magic, essays graded with gold stars. My palm resumes its slow journey through your hair, and I feel your breathing even out. Long, deep draws of air, exhaled in soft sighs that warm my thigh. The lavender candy has almost dissolved. The faint floral note mingles with peppermint and rain, creating a cozy night blend I silently vowed to remember. "Hey," I whisper after a long, drowsy pause, letting my lips hover a breath from your ear. "Is it okay if I keep stroking your hair a little longer?" I give space for an imagined murmur of agreement, then smile softly. "Good. in murmurs about trivial things. How the book I'm reading has a heroine who reminds me of you, bright and stubborn. How the bakery lady scolded me for buying the last vanilla wafer because it was her favorite. So I promised her half next time. How I overheard two sparrows arguing outside my window at dawn and wondered if they were also cramming for exams in their little bird way. Each anecdote is a pebble dropped into calm water, ripples expanding slowly out, lulling rather than stirring. Eventually, I feel your fingers twitch, a silent sign that your consciousness drifts near the edge of dreams. I lower my voice to a brushed silk whisper. Let's make a deal, I murmur, lips brushing the shell of your ear. You give your mind these next few hours off, and tomorrow I'll bring you breakfast and quiz cards labeled with doodles instead of definitions. I chuckle softly. We'll see if silly cartoons stick better than acronyms. I glance at the clock, hands crawling toward dawn, and feel the glow of protectiveness swell in my chest. Close your eyes, sweetheart. I breathe, even though they're already nearly shut. Picture the ocean at sunrise, the horizon bleeding soft pinks and golds. Hear the hush of waves rolling in, matching your breath. I pause, letting that image settle. Every time the tide recedes, it takes a worry with it. Every time it returns, it brings cool relief. A raindrop taps the balcony rail, sharp, then fading. I match its tempo, drumming a single fingertip gently against your shoulder. Tap, pause, tap, tap, pause. A lullaby in Morse code only you and I understand. Sleep, I whisper on the next exhale. I'll count the raindrops for you. Another long stretch of silence follows, peppered only by my steady breathing and the soft hiss of rain, easing to drizzle. Somewhere outside, a car tires, hissing through wet streets, provides distant white noise. I let it blend with my next words. You're safe. You're loved. You're home. slacken. Your lips part ever so slightly, and the smallest puff of air escapes on the inhale. My heart warms, seeing you surrender wholly to the moment. I lift my free hand, palm hovering inches above your cheek, and slowly draw invisible circles. No touch, just the suggestion of it, letting the sensation of closeness cradle you without stirring. Stay here with me. I breathe, drawing a final lingering stroke across your hairline. Dream sweetly, my brilliant best friend. We'll tackle the world together when the sun's up. I close my own eyes, resting my head against the cushion, and let the hush enfold us. Breathing in sync with you, rain, and the quiet cadence of dawn preparing to bloom. But before the silence claims me entirely, I whisper, barely audible, a promise meant for the space between our hearts. And when you wake, I'll still be here, tracing futures in your palm. A silvery hush settles in the apartment, as though the rain has curled up to sleep right along with you. I savor the stillness for a moment, my fingertips poised at the soft edge of your hairline, then begin a new pattern. Slow, gliding strokes that sweep from your temple to the crown and back again. Each pass a quiet vow. Your breathing follows, deepening, steady as a tide that knows exactly where the shore is. I lean closer, so my whisper can drape across your ear like sin. Do you know how proud I am of you? I murmur, letting the warmth of the words sink into the space between us. My fingertips pause to draw a gentle figure 8 at your temple. You pour so much of yourself into everything you study. Sometimes I think you forget how bright you already shine. My thumb traces a soft line down the slope of your cheekbone. Tonight, I want you to feel that light. Feel how it glows, even when your eyes are closed. I ease one hand beneath the blanket, resting it over your heart, feeling the slow, confident thump beneath my palm. Right here, I say, voice dropping into a tender hush. Is everything that matters. No grade can measure the way you care. notice yourself making. Your head shifts imperceptibly in my lap, an instinctive lean toward the comfort, and I answer by combing my other hand through your hair, sweeping the strands off your forehead so the lamplight can kiss the soft skin there. Let me paint a picture, I whisper, each syllable slow and mellow. Exams are over. We're on a train skimming along the coast, windows open to the salt breeze. You're sprawled across the cabin seat, still stealing my lap like it's your throne, and I'm reading silly headlines from the travel brochure while you drift in and out of half dreams. I pause to breathe a smile against your temple. Every time the train curves, the sea unfurls in glittering ribbons, and you squeeze my hand to make sure I'm seeing it too. I slide my palm to cradle your jaw, thumb grazing the gentle curve beneath your lower lip. We hop off at a tiny harbor town. White cottages tumbled together like sugar cubes. There's a bookstore that smells of lemon soap and parchment. You pretend to browse, but I see you watching the lazy ceiling fan, trying to memorize the quiet. A soft laugh escapes me, featherlight. I buy the oldest map I can find and promise to mark every place we nap on that trip. My fingers wander to the tender hollow behind your ear, massaging small circles. Maybe we rent bicycles with squeaky brakes. You laugh at me every time mine squeals, and I blush so hard I nearly veer into a hollyhock patch. We trade handlebars, and somehow, miracle of miracles, your bike behaves for me. I decide it's your secret magic rubbing off. I draw a slow breath, savoring the image. At sunset, we climb the dune overlooking the bay. You stretch out beside me on the sand and we listen to the sea hush itself to sleep. Just like this. Your chest rises in a long, easy inhale, and I smile at the way your fingers twitch against my thigh, as if holding the ghost of a seashell discovered in that imagined sand. Feel it, I whisper, brushing your cheek with the backs of my fingers. That vacation is waiting for us. Just beyond these exams. It's the reward your mind has already earned. The rain outside offers offers a soft, approving patter, like applause wrapped in velvet. I hum a low lullaby, wordless, just a drifting melody that skims along your pulse. My free hand slides beneath the blanket again, resting on your forearm. I rub gently back and forth, coaxing warmth deeper into your muscles. Every stroke, I murmur between humming phrases, is me gathering the worry you left knotted here and smoothing it away. A loosened sigh tumbles from your lips. I tilt my head, letting a strand of my hair brush across your nose, playful and barely there. You always crinkle your nose like that when you're half asleep. I tease, chuckling softly. It's adorable. I think it means your dreams are turning sweeter. I ease the blanket higher, tucking it beneath your chin. Do you remember? I whisper. Our pact to watch every meteor shower this year. My voice sways like a hammock. Next month's show, I'll bring cocoa in thermoses and thick quilts. We'll lie side by side on the rooftop and pretend each shooting star is one of your flashcard answers, streaking away because it's no longer needed in your brain. I tap a finger lightly against your temple, making space for stardust and poems instead. I lift your hand from my lap, pressing a slow kiss to each knuckle before settling it back against my thigh. One day, I murmur, I hope every time you look at your hands, you remember how many worlds they're capable of building, even when they shake with exhaustion, even when the notes blur. Your hands hold futures. I lace our fingers, thumb stroking the delicate web of skin between yours. And my hands, well, they'll always be here to steady them. Promise. Your breaths deepen, your lips part in a whisper of air. I lean in so close, my next words vibrate directly across your skin. Sleep is not surrender. I tell you softly, it's an alliance between your body and the dreams waiting to help you. I brush an invisible stray hair from your forehead. Right now, they're lining up, each dream carrying little lanterns to light the path between neurons, stitching new memories, new solutions, new peace. I grin against your temple, answers you didn't know you already planted. The clock ticks a slow, syrupy beat, and I match it by tracing 4 lazy heart shapes across your shoulder blade. 1 for each semester we've survived together. I remember every late night. I whisper every caffeine emergency, every frantic "I can't do this" text you sent. I feather a kiss to your hairline, and I remember how you did it anyway, every time. Proof that you are stronger than doubt thinks. A content hum rises from deep in your chest, and I feel it resonate against my palms. I let a comfortable silence bloom, simply breathing alongside you until the hush is thick and drowsy. My fingers glide to your earlobe, tugging with the gentlest pinch, just enough to tether you to the present. You're safe, I whisper, soft, sure. Nothing can reach you here. Not deadlines, not grades, not even the crack of dawn. Dawn will wait its turn. I lean my head back, eyes half closed, and let my voice fall to scarcely more than breath. Let me place blessings on you, I murmur. Rest, so deep, no worry can chase it. Peace, so wide, it wraps the room in quiet gold. And love, so gentle, it feels like the first warm breeze of spring. My hand lifts, palm hovering above your heart, and I exhale each word as though sending them straight through your rib cage. Outside, a lone car whooshes by on wet asphalt, then fades. I catch that sound and soften it into a story. That's the night, delivering all the leftover worries to its recycling center. I tease, tone barely above a secret. It'll turn them into confetti for our graduation party. A sleepy chuckle vibrates against my leg. I draw another deep breath and begin tracing the letters stillness thicken like warm honey, then start again, spelling my own name beside yours. Now they're side by side. I breathe, two signatures on a love note the universe is writing in real time. My free hand sweeps your hair once more, then lingers at the nape, thumb massaging small circles. I wish you could see yourself the way I do. I say softly, brilliant, yes, but also kind, patient, brave. The way your eyes glint when you solve a problem. The way you listen, really listen, when someone needs to vent. I sigh, letting the affection widen inside me until it fills every corner of the room. You are more than any metric can capture, and tonight I will repeat that truth until your dreams memorize it. I reach for the mug on the table, checking the temperature with a fingertip. Lukewarm, but still fragrant. I bring it close, hovering the rim near your lips. Last sip, sweetheart, I coax, tipping gently. You swallow without opening your eyes, trusting, and I feel a flutter of something tender in my chest. I set the mug aside and wipe a tiny droplet from the corner of your mouth with my thumb. There, peppermint armor to keep headaches at bay till morning. I shift, settling deeper into the cushions, careful to keep your head cradled perfectly. Let's do one more little exercise. I whisper, voice rounding each word like a pearl. On your next breath in, imagine inhaling liquid moonlight, cool and silver. Feel it pooling behind your eyes, smoothing away the ache. When you exhale, picture letting go of every leftover formula, every margin note, every worry about tomorrow's alarm. Ready? I breathe with you. Slow in, slower out, guiding you through 3 languid cycles until your whole body slackens. I arch a brow at the textbook mountain across the table. They look jealous. I tease under my breath. I think they wish they were the ones tucking you in. I tap a silent apology to the closest cover. Tomorrow, friends. Tonight belongs to rest. My gaze returns to you, and for a stretch of heartbeats, I simply watch, memorizing the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the faint shadows of lashes reminds me the world is still turning. But inside this amber-lit cocoon, time feels paused, waiting for you to wake with new strength. I press a final lingering kiss to the crown of your head. Sleep, genius, I breathe, words dissolving into the hush. Dream of starlit coastlines and empty inboxes. Dream of me no more than an arm's reach away, tracing futures in your palm. I let the quiet embrace us again, my fingers continuing their slow, hypnotic weave through your hair. Outside, the rain resumes a soft trickle, playing counterpoint to the steady tick of the clock. And in that hushed symphony, I feel your breaths lengthen, deep and unhurried, each one ferrying you further into the safe harbor of dreams. Dawn hovers just beyond the curtains, a pale peach glow pressing softly at the edges, but the room still belongs to night. Hushed, weightless, holding its breath for you. I switch off the single lamp, leaving only the ghost of its warmth floating in the air. The darkness isn't complete. It's a velvet tapestry pricked with delicate threads of city light that hardly disturb the calm. I ease a corner of the blanket higher over your shoulder, my knuckles skimming the line of your jaw as I tuck it close. Even that feather-light touch seems loud in the hush, so I still my hands, letting silence wrap us both tighter. Your breaths have stretched into long, unbroken rivers of sound, each exhale a gentle tide that nudges me deeper into my own soft calm. I match you, breath for breath, until our rhythms overlap so perfectly that I almost forget which lungs are mine. I shift, sliding my legs out from under you, a fraction of an inch at a time. Your head sinks into the pillow I've placed in my lap stead, barely noticing the change. I kneel on the rug beside the couch now, the thick weave cushioning my knees, and run the back of one knuckle down the side of your face, tracing from temple to chin as lightly as a breeze. I'm still here, I whisper, voice melted to raw silk, just the tiniest bit lower. My words hover in the air, lulling and slow, and I watch as the faintest chest, feeling it rise and fall beneath my palm, a gentle promise that everything inside is working exactly as it should. Warmth seeps through the knit and into my skin. It's like holding a small, steady sun. Let me steal every leftover ache, I murmur, sliding my hand in lazy circles across your sternum. I'll trade you moonlight instead. My other hand traces invisible water ripples around your scalp, fingers feathering outward, then drawing back in, coaxing deeper drift. Outside, the drizzle has dwindled to solitary droplets ticking against the balcony rail. Tiny metronomes counting down to dream saturation. You tip your head the smallest degree into my hand, sighing as though the dream has turned a pleasant corner. A soft yawn tugs at my own jaw. I smile into it, letting the exhale breeze over your cheek. Just think, I hum. Every neuron, every muscle fiber, all of them busy stitching tonight's rest into tomorrow's genius. I brush my thumb along the gentle arch of your brow. You're gathering more strength than any cram session could ever give. Behind us, the refrigerator hum slips into a lower register, as if even the appliances have decided to whisper. I reach for a small linen cloth resting on the coffee table, still faintly cool from the tea tray. I fold it in thirds, press it to my lips to warm it, then lay it across your forehead. Cooling crown, I murmur, smoothing its edges, keeps headaches at bay, and it looks quite noble on you. My smile spills into my tone. Sir Scholar of the Sleep Realm, your kingdom awaits at dawn. I settle beside your torso, hip against couch frame, close enough that my thigh touches the blanket. From here I can brush my fingertips along your forearm, in time with each slow breath, a barely there contact that grounds without stirring. Let's wander through one last image. I breathe, eyes half closing. Picture a library made of starlight, walls of gentle luminescence, aisles that curve like the arms of a galaxy. Every book glows with answers, and none of them hide their spines from you. Tonight, while you rest, tiny slightly as your chest expands in a deeper inhale. I imagine the dream library doors opening on that breath. Cosmic dust swirling at your feet. I stroke down your arm once more, following the dream's trajectory. And if any facts feel out of reach, I whisper, I'll be right there with a ladder fashioned from my own stubborn faith in you. A soft rumble of early morning traffic rolls somewhere in the distance, muffled by wet asphalt and closed windows. I listen, gauging its volume, then lean closer to your ear, letting my next words eclipse the faint city growl. You deserve this rest, I say, a vow wrapped in cotton. You deserve mornings that arrive without dread, afternoons that overflow with quiet confidence, nights that end with my fingers tangled in your hair, exactly like this. Your face tilts toward my voice, unconscious but trusting, and I feel heat bloom in my chest, utterly gentle, entirely devoted. I press a kiss to the linen cloth on your forehead. It's a ghost of a kiss, filtered through fabric, but the intent travels through easily. Care, affection, an unspoken promise of more tomorrows, exactly as soft as this one. I'll stay until sunrise, I tell you in a hush. When the first feather of light slips over the sill, I'll brew fresh tea. You'll wake to peppermint and warm vanilla again, but stronger this time, steeped long enough to taste like hope. My knuckles graze the line of your jaw once more, and I feel your lips part on a barely audible sigh. And after the exam, we'll toss these flashcards like confetti out the window. Let the wind decide which formulas it needs. I let that vision settle, then comb my fingers gently through the fringe over your forehead. My voice sinks to near silence. If by chance you're still awake later, if dawn can't quite coax you fully into dreams, perhaps I'll crawl back under this blanket with you. I pause, letting the promise bloom like slow opening petals. We'll melt the hours with whispers even softer than these. Maybe explore some warmer chapters I can't read aloud here. words linger, a breathless suggestion dancing at the edge of imagination. You know where to find that part of the story. Just follow the link I tucked down below. I press one last lingering kiss, bare skin this time, to the corner of your temple, sealing the promise. Then I gather my calm around me like a shawl, letting the hush grow expansive and complete. A minute passes, 2, the soft symphony of your breath, the fading rain, the distant hum of morning, all of it weaves together in perfect stillness. I draw a final breath, steady and fond, and let my voice drift like smoke over embers. Sweetheart, if this little midnight respite eased your mind, maybe when you wake, you could tap that tiny like button. I smile, knowing you can't hear the grin, but hoping you'll feel it. And if you'd like more nights like this, more whispered stories, more starlight libraries, consider subscribing, maybe even ringing the bell so I can find you again. My thumb brushes the back of your hand. It helps more than you know, and it means I get to keep you company whenever your eyes grow heavy. I take one last lingering look, the soft curve of your mouth, the way the blanket rises and falls, the shadows painting gentle hollows at your collarbones, and I tuck all of it somewhere safe inside me. Then I settle into the armchair beside the couch, blanket draped over my own lap, eyes half closing as I keep vigil. Rest easy, genius, I whisper, letting the final words dissolve into hush. Dream kindly, breathe deeply. I'm right here. A long silence follows, only the faint tick of the clock, only your steady breaths. And in that perfect quiet, the night exhales its last sigh as dawn's first feather of light brushes the curtain edge. Sweet dreams, darling.